Hi everyone, Nathan here from Mighty Lancer Games, and today we're just going to talk a little bit about Dungeons and Dragons. So it's commonly thought that when you get started with Dungeons and Dragons you need to have the full array of books to get started, but that isn't really the fact. So all you really need are a couple of willing accomplices, some dice, and perhaps one of the starter sets. So there are two starter sets for Dungeons and Dragons currently on the market, published by Wizards of the Coast. There is the traditional starter set, which is the Minds of Phandelver adventure, and then there is the Essentials kit, which is a more updated version. It's got a slightly better rule book. You get a little DM screen in there, a couple more dice and some maps and what have you, and that features around Icewind Peak adventure. Okay, these are both fantastic starter sets, great value, £19, £24, fantastic, everything you need to get started. The next evolution after you've played through these, and these will take your character up to level 1, from level 1 to level 5 or level 7, and the next thing that you need after those is a player's handbook. But realistically, you should get months of play out of these products before you need to expand with the player's handbook. Player's handbook is the first thing that you need because it's got all the spells that you're going to need to get started, all your player character races, rules about equipment and skill checks and other bits and pieces in there. Okay. A lot of people think that you need a Dungeon Master's Guide if you're going to be the Dungeon Master. You don't really need the Dungeon Master's Guide unless you really want it. It's got some good information in here about adventure, plot hooks, NPCs, which is non-player characters like your bad guys, treasure, other stuff if you don't fancy generating your own. Okay, but before you buy this, what you should really buy is this. Okay, so the Monster Manual should be the first purchase for any budding GM after the Player's Handbook. This is all the monsters that you should really need for any campaign that you're going to play, unless you're thinking it all out of your own imagination and you're coming up with your own weird and wacky monsters. Okay? And then designed to follow on from these two products over here are these two books. So you've got The Tyranny of Dragons, which comprises The Rise of Tiamat and The Hoard of the Dragon Queen adventures. So both of those are available as separate books, but they have recently published this, which is a combined book, and that's designed to follow on from the traditional Minds of Phandelver starter set. So you can either play it from level 1 or you can start at level 5, where this finishes. Okay, and then the Storm King's Thunder, very similar to that, is designed to follow on perfectly from these two. And this and the Tyranny of Dragons will take you up to about level 15. So you would need the Monster Manual to fill in some of the gaps in both of these books for the monsters that you might encounter, but this provides you with all the source material that you need to keep your adventurers busy for about a year. Okay, and then just something else that you may or may not be aware of, but there are a range of screens that you can get. So you can buy an official Dungeons and Dragons screen, the Dungeon Screen, Master Screen Reincarnated, and inside that is a whole load of charts and other stuff that you'll find useful if you're a first-time DM. But if you're playing a specific adventure, like the Storm King's Thunder or the Tyranny of Dragons or any of the other published books, Gale Force 9 have published a licensed selection of screens, Dungeon Master screen, so it's on 4 panels, has a nice picture for your players to look at while you're plotting their demise. Okay, and on the inside of this one, for example, so there's a map of the whole area that you're likely to traverse while you're in the throes of the adventure. Some useful tables about what you find in a giant's bag once you've slain a giant, should you slay a giant, other random wilderness encounters, and travel pace over different terrains, and other bits and pieces that you're going to find useful. Now these screens are about £10 or £11 and that's really like not bad for the kind of value that you're going to get out of them. But the main thing that you need to play Dungeons and Dragons successfully, apart from some dice and a couple of willing victims, is a good imagination. So you don't need half of these books if you can think about what you want to do. And if you've read plenty of fantasy books in your time, or you've just got a vivid imagination, you'd probably be able to keep your friends entertained for a long time. So my recommendation, Mr MLG's recommendation for Dungeons and Dragons, excuse me, is start with one of these two products. Okay, so they both come with some dice, pre-generated characters, everything you need to get going. Start with one of those, then buy the player's handbook, then a monster manual, and then move on to perhaps one of the published adventures, or make up your own. So if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. And if you like the video, you've got to do the liking the video and subscribing to the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because all those things help us get more views and be able to